like, no, I'm not. I'll give me 1 second.
I had to wear the funky glasses for you. You know what I mean?
They're so much fun. And we almost like have the same colors going on. They're very autumnal. I'm here for it.
I
love it.
We're in the wrong season though.
We really are. I know I say that all the time. I'm like, oh, I really want fall. But yesterday it snowed in the Midwest. So I guess we're all over with the seasons here.
Oh, you're right. Let me if you'll just excuse me for one moment, I'm going to make our screen split screen real quick.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
Okay. I always forget how to do this.
I am so technologically unsavvy that I could not help you if I wanted to.
Okay, we got it.
Awesome. Okay, good deal.
I wanted to say happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I celebrated March 26th is my birthday, and we had a very low-key, very fun day, just me and DJ, and it was exactly how I wanted it. My 30th last year was my big birthday. So this year I was like, none of that. I just wanted to be very calm, cool, and collected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, 30s are the new 20. So
I completely agree. I love my 30s. I very much enjoy it. I had a good 20s and I'm having a good 30s. So I'm okay with that.
Good.
Thank you.
Do you want to see the earrings I chose for you today?
Yes, please. I'll show you mine too.
Oh, I want to see.
Oh, I love those. My girlfriend actually just gave me something just like that too. How funny.
Really? Well, you said you're a fringe freak, so I was like, I gotta wear my fringe
Where
earrings.
did you find those?
I think it was Etsy.
Really?
But it was
You'll
like several years.
Send me the link, please, if you can find them. They're the coolest things.
Oh, thanks. I will. I bought them several years ago, but I can go into my order history and I'll find them.
Yes, they're so fun. Well, today I have my rainbow hearts because you know me, I'm like a nut for color.
I know.
And then the polka dots in my sweater are rainbow. So I felt like it really went well. So those were the earrings today. Thank you. Oh yes, I love those though. Oh my gosh, they're so fun. I can't get over them. I'm like, they're so cool.
Well, we'll get them for you. We'll find them. And that kind of goes with the fall theme we've got going on here, even though
I love that they look like they're very like chunky, but they probably are really light feeling. Does that make sense?
Very light feeling.
Yes, I love that.
And they're double-sided. So I think there must be two sides together.
I'm obsessed. They're so fun. They're so fun. They look so good. I'm so happy I could influence you with the chunky fun earrings and glasses and the whole nine.
That's not the only way you've influenced me, Erica.
Tell me. I have my water here too, by the way. No coffee yet. I've already had like way too much caffeine for today.
Well, so I got drink number 1 here. Iced coffee.
3 drink minimum.
And then I've got my iced tea going.
Yes.
And then lastly, the one that's full, which I should be drinking more of, the water.
I love it. My energy drink is on the other side of the table, and I have like I watch Sarah's Day on YouTube. She's like my favorite like YouTuber to watch. And she has this like, it's called Body Bloom, and I have that in a separate container in the kitchen. So like I have 3, but they're all over the place. So right now next to me, I just have water.
Okay. So we'll say you really do have 3. We just,
I do. They're spotted all over the house. Like I always have cups everywhere. DJ laughs at me. He's like, you have stuff everywhere. I'm like, yes, I know.
Let me ask you this question. Do you keep a cup that's only partially full, like in the refrigerator?
All the time. Even like that, like it goes back to my childhood. My parents would get so angry because I also like weirdly, I like pop. I guess the East Coast call it soda. We call it pop. So I'm a pop drinker. I love pop. And I'm a big Mountain Dew drinker, but I've stopped like drinking the full sugar. I drink like the 0 sugar one because it's now too much sugar for me. But I will only I'll drink 3/4 of the can and I'll leave it. And I've done that since childhood. I don't know why. My dad does it. I do it. And DJ's now like, what is wrong with you? Like, finish it. I'm like, I don't know why. I just never finished it. I have like quarter full cans all over the house all the time.
My husband is the same way. He can't stand it because there'll be a couple cups of different beverages. And you're exactly right. It's always about 1/4.
Yep.
And I don't know why it's always that amount.
Exactly. And the coffee's the same way. DJ's like, why don't you just get like a medium or a grande size coffee? Like you don't finish the large size. Like you always have a little bit left. And I go, I just can't bring myself to like decrease the size, but I never finish I don't even finish a grande size either. So who am I kidding? I always do. I always leave like liquid in my cups. So yes, you're not alone.
Well, thank you. I do feel better. I do feel better.
Absolutely. I feel better now that I know I'm not the only one, because it's all the time.
You're the only person that I've had this conversation with, and I have not therefore met anybody else. So I feel much better about myself.
Me too.
Now, given that we're doing this interview, I was like, you know what? This week I need to pick a bag that would be Erica approved.
Yes.
So I want to show you what I've been thinking about.
Okay.
And I'm going to watch for your reaction, and maybe that will help me narrow it down to the actual bag. Okay.
I love this.
Okay. So first of all, I was like, okay, what brand? And I was like, you know what? We got to do Rebecca Minkoff.
Oh my gosh.
Cutie.
I have never seen that. It's like, what is that? It's
like, it's like a coin purse.
Yes.
I put it on a strap for my daughter so that we can twin.
Love that. I think it was like the MAB crossbody, I think, by Rebecca Minkoff, and it's like shrunk. Oh, I love that.
She has done some small bags, but this was not one of those. This was from a while ago.
Okay.
So I thought I knew that I wanted to do this brand, but I was like, you know what? This is too small. Erica would not want a small bag. I know that.
No, she can't. It's just physically impossible for me.
So then I got a little bit bigger to the mini Mac.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
But then I was like, wait a minute. Would Erica want smooth leather, or would she want the pebbled leather? So I was trying to decide.
It's like crinkled.
But then I was like, would she really go for the gold, or would she go for the silver?
Oh, it's such a hard choice for me.
And then
it just honestly depends.
And then I was like, do we do the smooth with the silver, or would she go with the pebbled with the silver? Like I was really like having a time. And then I was like, you know what? Erica likes big bags. Mini Mac, too small. Let's go with the full size Mac.
Oh my gosh, I am so here for this.
And then I was like, but Erica is funky fresh. So let's go with the highlighter yellow version. And then I was like, wait though, Erica really likes black bags, and she really likes the like moto biker look. I was like, let's go with the 5-zip.
Chef kiss. And it's got all the compartments that I would want.
Pockets.
Love, huge fan. I love it.
I think I'm going to do this one this week, if that's
you have to. And it's funny when I show you the bag that I am carrying today. We'll kind of like have that same twinning idea going on.
Oh, show me.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. So my bag of the day, and actually one of the videos I was working on, which is why I was so bad at texting back. I'm actually a really bad texter. I'm not good at it. Like, weirdly enough, I'm not a texter. So, okay, this is my bag. Let me see if I get. So this is my Amy Kestenberg Tamitha bag. They actually recently just sent me this bag, and I am absolutely obsessed. So like, if I can show you, like, it's like studded with this like silver studs, and it's got the big chunky larger than life zipper. And then going into it, actually something that I need to mention that is so cool with this bag is it's secured by a back button.
I saw that in your video.
Love it. So going in, the material is this fun cheetah print.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love it. And then going on the back, we have this like very fun slip compartment. So that is my bag for today. I was actually doing a switch in from my Good Times leather satchel to this bag to kind of do a size comparison. Mm-hmm. But it's so fun. I love this bag a lot. And yes, I'm a big like moto bag girl. It is my dream to one day like ride motorcycles. Like I want to be a motorcycle driver. And my husband is like so scared of me on a motorcycle, which I completely understand. But like my dad rode motorcycles, my brother rides motorcycles. Like it's just a familial thing. And I really want to do it one day. But right now I have a moped.
That's so funny because that's opposite here. Like my husband wants a motorcycle and I'm like way too scared for him.
And you know what? I totally respect and understand that. Like, and like DJ makes such a good point because like my argument originally with motorcycles was, well, you ride a race car, you drive a race car. Like, it's just as dangerous. Like, you're going 100 miles an hour around this track. Like, why can't I have my motorcycle? And he goes, mine has a roll cage. Yours doesn't. And I go, you're right. And he goes, and everybody on that track is paying attention to what they're doing. And everybody on the road, like they're texting, they're, you know, just, they're not paying attention, not always. And I don't, he's like, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about everybody else and how you might be affected. Yeah. So he makes such solid points that it's very difficult to argue with him. But for now, he did purchase me my moped. So that's my around town vehicle.
That is so much fun.
I love it. Thank you. And one of my subscribers turned friends helped me name it. Her name's Hannah, and she actually helped me name it Rhonda because it's a Honda. So it's
Rhonda the Honda. I know. I love it. I love it. I love your varied interests. It's so
they're all over the place. I'm a woman of many trades, I feel like.
That's so cool. And like a moped, I feel like doesn't go as fast, right?
No, I think that's really why he gave it, like, that's why it was the vehicle of choice. Like, if I was going to have a steel steed, it was going to be a moped and not a motorcycle because I can only get up to like 40 or 50 miles an hour on my moped versus a motorcycle, which I could go much, much quicker.
And has your husband wanted to get on it at all or no?
Oh, he has. He will. Okay. He actually was thinking, he's like, he thinks motorcycles are really cool too. But like, again, it's just like the danger of like the outside conditions of like what could go wrong.
Right.
And so he also has a very good like respect for motorcycles. It's just like that fear of like people not paying attention on the road. So, but yes, he has driven my moped around. He has driven Honda or Rhonda the Honda. So yes, he loves it. Yeah.
And that bag you just showed looks so good with it, you know, like.
Thank you. I love this bag. I was so surprised when her team reached out to me because I had not had a great experience with Amy Kestenberg in the past. I love the bag. I didn't like the lining.
Right.
And so I made like a video about it and I just said like my pros and cons and ultimately why I was returning it. And a few months later, they were like, we'd love to send you one, you know, to try and like make up for, you know, the bag that just didn't work out. And I was just really
respect that so much.
I do too. I think that's such a big thing. And she's such a big brand too, which was even more surprising in my opinion, I think, to like see my video. I'm like, you saw my video. Like I was just in awe. And I really think to stand behind your product and to listen, because my biggest issue with Amy Kestenberg was the lining. Mm-hmm. And they actually said we're redoing and renewing our lining come the fall line. So I think that's such a cool thing to like listen to your consumers and to really stand behind your product and change what needs changing. So mad respect to Amy Kestenberg's team. I really like, I really have loved the two bags that I've had after the one that went wrong.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you'll get a bag this fall and you'll know when you feel that lining, you'll be like,
oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So I'm hoping that they're willing to work with me for their fall line, but if not, I know I'll buy one. So I'm very excited.
Oh, so very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, great. Well, I am so excited to get into this interview with you. I hope you don't mind. Like I print everything. I kind of
I literally was going to put it on my phone too, because I too am like, I have to have it up. So I'm going to try to like, I've been practicing like my answers, I've been reading all the questions.
Oh,
so
you're so cute.
Yeah, I'm like, I hope I have it all right. When I like interview, I tend to like, it escapes me. So like I'm just that type. And I like to talk a lot. I feel like we have very much established that. So just bear with me.
Be you, which is what we love. And I personally, I don't know about you, but like when I see my YouTubers that I love, when I see them goof up or flub up, it just makes me love them all the more. And I really hope that people like will give me the same, like when I'm
I think it like makes you human. Like I always try to leave some of like my blooper times or my dogs going crazy, because I think so many YouTubes, like I feel like we lose the human aspect of people, like they're just perfection. And something I strive like for my channel is to make sure like they know that I'm human. Like my house is messy. I have stuff going on. I'm all over the place and I'm just crazy. And that's just my life. So I really hope that I convey that through what I do.
You do. You've done so
Thank
much
you.
in such a short amount of time with your
Try.
channel, and you're so legit too, because
Thank
your
you.
appearance changes from video to video, which is so
Yes.
realistic. It's how we are. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you're just like in sweatpants and you're like, we're doing an unboxing because the bag just
Yeah.
arrived. And like,
Yeah.
I just love that about you. You are
Thank
very
you.
authentic. And
Thank
and
you.
that's got to be the reason why so many people love you. I'm sure of it.
Thank you. I really try to, cause like, yeah, I'm like, I sometimes think about, I'm like, should I throw like, well, and like a big part of like my issue, like my sweatpants and stuff is like, dirty confession of mine, ironically dirty, is I hate to wash my hair. I hate to do my hair. I'm like not a hair person. And so my hair is generally like all over the place. And for me, an outfit doesn't feel complete until my hair is done. I'm very weird about that. Like it has to be complete. So if my hair is greasy and gross, like I'm not touching it, I'm not doing it, and I'm not going to dress up because it's not going to look right. So we're just going to go full sweatpants, no makeup. And I feel like that's how we all unbox things, right? Like we get to the door, we're so excited and we're like in PJs. I work from home part of the time with my job. So I'm like, yeah, like why am I dressing up? So yeah, it's just like one of those things. And yeah, I feel like people can relate to that because that's just how we all do it. Like I don't put red lipstick on to unbox. Like every once in a while, it just happened to be that that's perfect timing. But most of the time I'm looking like grub life.
Was that like a decision that you made? Like, you know what, I'm going to do this because this is authentically me? Or did you just naturally do it?
I think like at one point, because I feel like through my first few videos, like with unboxings, like I distinctly remember like Portland leather goods being like one of my first few unboxings. And I did have like my hair done, my makeup done. And I think like as time went on, like a lot of it is I'm an impatient person. Like I've already had to wait to receive the bag that I am so excited to just like get into it, that it was just sort of like a conscious decision of, you know what, let's do it. And people still perceived it really well and positively. And like no one remarked on my appearance. And I think like it was just, I'm like, all right, then I'm just going to keep doing it because this is me and this is who I am. And as much as I love to take the fun and cool Instagram photos, 90% of the time I am rocking sweatpants or like old sweatshirts with stains all over them. Like that's just how I live my life. So I like to be fashionable. That's definitely a part of who I am, but I'm also very much a casual, like, sweatpant kind of girl too.
And, I am more productive when I don't have the earrings on and when I am just in sweatpants or pajamas. I am so much more productive. I don't know if you're that way, but I know some people are opposite where they have to dress up to be productive, but I am not like that.
I don't know how you feel. Like for me, like when I like dress up, like I don't feel comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? Like
you're maintaining like a look.
Yeah. Like I feel like I've put so much effort into trying to look really good that I just, by like 30 minutes, 1 hour in, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to like get back into like, just comfy clothes.
Yeah.
Although I do, when I work from home, I can't work in pajamas all day. I have to put like jeans, and it doesn't have to be a cute like top, but it has to be like just a sweater or like just a long sleeve shirt. Like it has to be jeans and something, because that's when I feel like I am in the game. Okay. But if I stay in pajamas all day, like I do feel like there's like a lack in productivity. So I will get dressed up to kind of sit and work from home. Like it does help me mentally to kind of get into the game there.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm just more apt to roll up my sleeves when I don't care about my sleeves, I'll like tackle all the dishes if I don't care about the shirt I'm wearing and just stuff like that.
I was wearing a white shirt earlier, like really white. And I was like, I was going to make myself breakfast, tackle the kitchen. And I was like, this isn't a good idea. Like, we're not going to put white on. So I went and I changed and got everything done. Cause I just know it. I'm going to get stuff all over the shirt.
I know, I'm the same way.
White is just it's not a good color for me because it's inevitably going to be stained. It'll be my own type of tie-dye with stains.
I actually bought white t-shirt paint a couple months ago because I do have all the stain removers, but especially on denim and thicker fabrics, a little bit of white, like t-shirt paint just kind of rubbed on it can really brighten
I did not know that like you see my facial expression. I didn't know that existed.
Try it. I'm not saying it's going to like
Where
totally
do you
work.
find this magic elixir?
Amazon. And
No, well,
just
Amazon's good for everything.
just search, well, I'm sure like Michael's and stuff has it, but just search for matte. You don't want it shiny,
Okay.
but like just t-shirt paint, and then it just kind of goes into the crevices of your fabric, but it just works better on a thicker fabric, but it can really save a pair of jeans,
Go
sometimes.
figure. I have this like white denim like jacket that I just absolutely love, but I'm so worried about wearing it because it's like, and I try very hard not to spill on it, but once in a while I get this thing that would be perfect for it.
Exactly. Try it. Like try the
Thank
stain
you.
remover. And if you get like a little, cream colored yuck that remains, just a little bit of t-shirt paint, white
That's
t-shirt paint.
so good to know. You taught me something today. I'm so excited.
Did I influence you?
White. Yes, you did. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to try it. I really am. Thank you. I'm going to tell my girlfriend about it too, because she loves like white clothing and stuff like that, but she has the same problem. Like she's like, I can't ever get them white again, and there's stains, and now we know. So I'm excited.
So it just depends on the fabric, and you got to like blend it in, right? But
okay,
so try.
I'm very excited. Thank you.
Yeah.
So excited.
Oh, well, yay. All right. Well, so if you're okay with it, I'm just going to like read my little lead into the podcast.
Yeah.
And then, and then we'll get on to the interview if you're okay with that.
I'd love that. I'd love that. Cheers.
Yay. And thank you so much for doing this. And
absolutely. Thank you for asking me. I felt so honored. I was like, oh my gosh, no way.
I am
it was so
excited.
cool.
I've loved you since you came on to the scene. Like,
oh, thank you so much. I really love that. I mean that. Thank you so much.
You came on like, so like you were there, and you're consistent, and you're always there. And there's just so much about you I just love. But anyway, I'll get into that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So here we go. All right. So Erica, you semi-recently got married to your husband, DJ, right?
I did. We got married in November of 2021, specifically November 26th. So it was Black Friday. We both joke that we did it on purpose, so I couldn't go shopping that day because I have a little bit of a shopping problem. So it was such a beautiful, amazing day. I just had such a good time. It really came together so gorgeously. I had single-handedly one of the best maid of honors on the planet. It's my best friend Daria. You guys see her in so many of my vlogs, but she helped me so much. My in-laws helped me a lot. DJ was there every step of the way. So I really just had, in my family, I had such a good support system for the day. We were actually supposed to get married on January 2nd of 2021, but the pandemic kind of got the best of that. So we ended up postponing, and I'm glad we did. I feel like all things happen for a reason. I had more time to really kind of concentrate on it. And I'm a massive Thanksgiving fan and a fall fan, as we were talking about. I love fall. And so I think it just happened at a perfect time, and it just was a gorgeous day. So yes. So we've been married, I think, like what now, 4 or 5 months. So it's pretty crazy.
You're a newlywed. You're still a newlywed.
Yes. Yes.
And how did you and DJ meet?
So that's a really funny story, actually. So technically we've met on Facebook, but DJ and I actually grew up around 5 minutes from each other. Like we lived in neighboring towns. We went to the same high school, but he is 2 years younger than I am. So he graduated 2 years after I did. And then we went to the same college, but still hadn't met in person, but we ran in the same social circles. And so in January of 2014, DJ had reached out to me on Facebook and kind of introduced himself and said, he thought I was really pretty and he'd really love to take me out on a date. And I just sort of laughed. I laughed at it. I actually then framed the Facebook message later on because I thought it was so ironic. But at the time, I had recently come back from a summer semester in Europe, and I was very gung-ho on traveling and living abroad because I just really loved my experience. And I was doing 21 credit hours in my final semester of college. I was a TA, and then I was supporting myself in college. So I worked nearly a full-time job, and I just didn't have time for a relationship. So I kind of stuck DJ on the back burner, and I left it there. I was always very friendly, but I made it very clear that I was busy and I was not here to lead anyone on, and I didn't want a relationship. But when I graduated, I realized I wanted to stay in the States, and I happened to kind of cross paths at a local restaurant. He came, he introduced himself, and the rest is history. We just kind of really melded on our personalities and our humor. And yeah, now 8 years later, here we are.
So how much time passed from that original Facebook message that he gave you to when you ran into him?
So the original one came in January of 2014, and I ran into him in late July of that same year. Okay. So a few months, like 7 months had passed in that year. I think I said 2014.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like did my own thing. I was very laser focused, and it just so happened that we caught each other at the same place. Finally, like in all the years that we had like really kind of gone to the same places in the same area, we ran into each other. So
thank God.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like God's will is kind of like an orbit, or like we're orbiting around, and if you miss it one time, like he's just so merciful and keeps giving you chances, And so like you were meant to meet DJ one way or another.
Yeah. Like I think so. I really do think so. And I think it was like perfect timing. I think had I gone through with it in January of 2014, I don't know if I would have been able to kind of like really delve into a relationship like I would have wanted to then, with like my mindset and how much I had going on, to like July of that year where everything had changed. Like I was done with college and I was starting a career and the whole thing. And it was just perfect timing. It really was. And like, again, I'm a true believer in all things happen for a reason. Yeah. And I think that was the reasoning. It was just a perfect timing.
Oh, praise God.
Yeah.
And the two of you have two big dogs, right?
We do. I have a full-bred Siberian Husky named Apollo, and I have a Collie German Shepherd mix named Karl, and both dogs are adopted. They are actually in the back room right now. They sleep with us in the bed. We have like a king size bed, but with the two monsters in it, it definitely doesn't feel that way. But they're back there. So if you hear them, that's what's going on. It's the music of my household, which is dog cries. Yeah. But they were both adopted. I adopted Apollo from a family friend who had worked a lot. His wife unfortunately fell ill and they were not able to take care of him. So I adopted him when he was 3. And then a year later, I adopted Karl, and Karl's original name was Newt, and we changed it to Karl. I did not want Karl. Karl was an absolute crazed loon upon coming out of his cage or crate from the shelter. And DJ like immediately was like, I want this dog. And I go, absolutely. Oh, loved him. I'm like, I had already picked out another dog. It was very calm, quiet. And DJ goes, no, like, I want this one. You got to pick out Apollo. Like, please let me pick out this one. And I go, all right, fine. So we brought him home and he was wild. He has so much energy, and it was really overwhelming at first because I was not used to that. Apollo is a husky, yes, but we call him a defected husky because he's just not super crazy. He's just very calm. He is just such a good dog. So Karl was just into everything, and he was just crazy nuts. And I go, why did I do this? Why did we do this? But he is really transformed into one of the best dogs I've ever had. Both of them are phenomenal, but Karl's just got a larger than life personality. He's very, very smart, and he loves cuddles. And Apollo is he's kind of like a cat dog where he always wants to be around you, but it's on him of when he wants to like be petted and things like that. But he is for sure my shadow. He's very much a mama's dog. So they're both really great. They just make my day. Like, they're so fun. They're so cute, and they're the best brothers. They really look out for each other, and yeah, they're fun. I love them.
I love when people name their dogs human names, like Karl, like, and then you talk about him later and people think you're talking about a human person.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love that.
Karl got out one time when we lived in our previous house, and I ran around like a mad woman screaming, Karl, and the neighbors are like, you named your dog Karl? I'm like, yes, I did. So, and I'm German too. I was brought up in a very German household. So like Karl is such a common name for me to hear. Like, I have uncles named Karl, I have cousins named Karl. So it was just like one of those like strong, like German names. And he responded to it right away when we said Karl. So yeah. And I just feel like it fits him so well. Like, he is a Karl for sure.
That's so cute. I have to ask you, since you have these dogs that are family members, do they react in any way when you do an unboxing with a leather bag? Like, do their noses like cause them to react in any way?
So I've read that like dogs really love the smell of leather, but mine react more to the delivery truck entering my driveway to drop off the package, like that's the reaction. And they're always really curious of like what it is that I'm picking up. Karl specifically, I'll show him in like my unboxings where his ears are like this. And he's just like, what's that? But once I open it, I'm actually really fortunate that they kind of leave my bags alone. Like they're all over the house and they do not chew anything. They don't chew my bags, the things in them, and they don't like touch my shoes or anything. So unless there's food in them, I'm sure Karl will go digging. But for the most part, they leave my stuff alone, which I'm okay with.
They're well behaved. That's good.
Yes, they are.
And I have to ask, what does DJ think of your handbag habit?
He's so supportive. I could not ask for a better support system with my handbags, especially with this channel. Like DJ's actually really been the starting impetus behind all of it. Like he got me my first camera, my first ring light. Like I think he saw something that maybe I didn't. I tend to be very hard on myself. Like I never really compliment myself at all. Whereas DJ's always like, he's so the optimist. And he just like was like, I know you can do it. And he helped me with everything. And now every bag that comes in, like he just considers it's more content. It's content. Like this is great, Erica. It's content. So he's so supportive. And I really like honestly could not ask for a better support system in that regard. Just with how happy he is, like, and just always like, oh, look, you got a new bag. Like it's fantastic.
I love it. You know, how sometimes you go into like a home goods store and you'll see like these decorative baskets, which will have like labels on them, like stuff. Sometimes they'll say, I feel like the new word is content. It's just content.
It is. It's content. It is.
When the bags keep coming in and I feel like it's a lot of stuff, I'll just be like, no, it's content. It's just content.
Precisely. And that's like, but even before that, like DJ's actually, so he's an engineer by day and then a race car driver by night and by weekends. And actually the racing season for this year is starting really, really soon. He's actually working on his race car now, but like he is also in pursuit of his own like passions and hobbies. And both of us are very passionate and we have a lot of hobbies and we're both very much the same in that regard where we like to try new things, but we have like our specific passions. Mine is bags, his is racing. And I think we both have a mutual respect for the other's passion. And I think that works very well for both of us, that he gives me my time with my bags and I like to shop for them. I like to make videos about them. And he just is so supportive of that. And in the same regard, he goes to work on the race car and sometimes he'll be gone for hours, but I support him in that because that's the thing that makes him happy. Just like bags are the thing that makes me happy.
That's wonderful. So you're both creative people and you're both respecting each other's passion projects and giving each other the space and the time to pursue those interests. And I'm sure you support his racing as well. Do you go and watch? Like
I do. I'm actually there for nearly every race, and the racetracks are actually not very close to our house. Like they're sometimes, especially like right after work, they can be like a 2-hour drive.
Oh, wow.
But one track specifically races on a Friday. So I will come home from work to let the dogs out, and then I will jet out to the racetrack so I can be there at least to watch the big race. Like they do qualifying and heat races and things like that, which unfortunately I'm not able to make due to time constraints, but I always try to be there. But he's got a huge busy schedule this season. So I'm going to try to go to as many as possible, but we're going to see how many of those I can actually make this year. Plus, like with this year with my channel, like growing much, much bigger and at a faster rate, I have a lot of my own things that I need to tackle on the weekends too. So it's something that we've discussed with, how are we able to balance it all?
Yeah. And what kind of car does he race?
He is in a late model, a super late model. So he does, it's kind of, because I think of like a NASCAR kind of car, and he does a small like oval tracks is what he does. That's like his specialty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then how did you officially start your YouTube channel? And tell me, like, did he tell you, hey, I think you need to start YouTube, or tell me how you began?
So I actually got to start on YouTube well before the bags. I actually had a separate channel and I started YouTube because I wanted to document a running journey. I guess, how do I preface this? I don't like to run, but I love the runners cults. Like, I think it's so cool. Like, I feel like there's such a family, and I've always like wanted to be in a sport where it felt like that. I've been in a few sports throughout my life, like that the culture felt very familial. So I decided that it is on my bucket list to run a marathon. And in 2018, I believe, or 2019, I was going to do it and I was going to document my progress. And so that is how my first YouTube channel got started. But I think it was all over the place. And truth be told, I think that initial preface of I don't like running really shined through. And as hard as I worked to do it, I was unable to run the marathon that year. I did get injured. Like I hurt my knees and my back. So I kind of ended the channel. And then when the pandemic hit, I was just so bored. I was like unbelievably bored at home. Like there was really nothing to do, no places to go. I'm a pretty active person. I really like to be on the go. So that really kind of hurt my lifestyle in a big way. Like I just couldn't go anywhere. So I kind of like went back to the drawing board. Like I'm a big like person. I always have to be busy. I don't really like to sit, and I love to be creative and I love to film videos. So I thought, what do I like I love bags, like, and I always have, like, why am I not creating something about something I really love?
Yeah.
And something that I would always go on YouTube and try to get was like reviews on the bags I was thinking of buying. And sometimes they didn't have what I was looking for in a review. So I was like, well, I can do that. Like, I know I can. And so I started with Madewell. It was actually my first Madewell bag. My first initiation with leather was Coach. That was a big brand for me. I loved Coach, but Madewell really started and opened the gates to like, I know Madewell's not, I don't believe Madewell's full grain, right?
No, I think it's top grain.
I believe, yes, I think you're right. And so, but that kind of started on the Portland leather goods, which started the whole, like, that was the floodgate. So, and like, I love like small leather brands, but I also really like, my interests vary in terms of bags. I go anywhere.
I know.
But
and I love that. It doesn't matter the price. Like sometimes you'll get a really cheap bag and you'll just love it because of what it is.
Yeah.
Like there's no rules for you. And I love it.
No, there really isn't. I'm kind of like, I like what I see and I want to try it. And so that's kind of really where it got started. Like, I think it was a lot of like boredom. I had not had a good experience with my first channel, but I knew that like my next one, I really needed to target something I loved. And like, it kind of like just dawned on me one day, like, Erica, you've loved bags since you were 11 or 12 years old, like obsession with bags. Like, why aren't you doing that? And it just kind of fell into place and it was just amazing. And I got great feedback right off the gate. And I'm so fortunate that I just have such a good group of followers and subscribers, and they're so kind. Like in a world where the internet can be such a mean place, like I am very lucky to have people who are so kind, so friendly, and just like genuine. And I absolutely love that. I love the community that like it has been created. It's just phenomenal. And to get to share the thing that I love most with other people is just incredible. Cause it's like, I think you think you're the only one with the same obsession with bags. And turns out there's a whole world of people as equally obsessed, if not more than you are. So it's phenomenal.
Well, you have created a space and you've drawn kind, good people to you because you are that way, Erica. And people see that authenticity. They see how genuine and sincere you are, how honest you are in your reviews. I appreciate that about you because you're not afraid to say, yeah, I don't like this. And here's why I don't like it, or this is going back because of it, so therefore people come to trust you. They trust your honesty and they keep coming back for your reviews.
Thank you. And like, that's, and especially my return videos, it was so funny. I'm actually filming a return video today.
Okay.
And I said at the end of it, like, I create those videos as a way to kind of be someone's devil's advocate. Like, just as much as I want to see why you love a bag, I want to see why somebody doesn't love a bag and what in their experience made them not love it. So it's definitely something I look for as a consumer of like, what did somebody not love about it? But also I never want to like make it like feel like I'm trashing a brand, which I never want to do. I think so many people pour their heart and souls into their designs and to their concepts.
Yeah.
And I never ever want to be the person that stomps that out. Like we all have
And
our
you
own.
walk that's a
Yes.
fine line, and you do it very well. Like you can
Yeah.
criticize, but not tear somebody down. You know what I mean?
No, and that's like never, and I hope I never ever, especially with the small brands, like I hope I never ever convey this idea that I'm trying to like throw out their light. It's never that, but I do absolutely, I feel like in order to make it authentic, no, I don't think one bag is ever really perfect. Like there's always going to be something we just don't particularly love. And I think that's just the honesty in the reviews of I absolutely love this bag overall, but there were these small things and issues that I have going forward that, you know, I would change if I could.
And that doesn't mean the person isn't going to still buy that bag. You
No,
know,
no.
sometimes, right? Like sometimes you just need to know, okay, I'm buying this bag and I know that this might happen. This feature is, you know,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
It might slip off my arm sometimes, or it might slouch this way or whatever. And I'm informed making that purchase.
Oh yeah. Like actually one of the like return videos I did this year was a winter session bag that I had lusted after the Garrison carryall for ages, probably a good year before I bought that bag. And I got the waxed canvas bag, which I will tell you to this, I thought it was a beautiful bag. The canvas was amazing. The leather for the handles and the strap was just stunning. It was thick. It was just gorgeous. The problem came with the waxed canvas. It really attracted dog hair. And with a Siberian Husky and a German Shepherd and Collie mix, dog hair is something I have quite a bit of. I have like tumbleweeds throughout my house of dog hair. And like it had nothing to do with the bag itself, but with my lifestyle plus that bag, the bag didn't work for me. And I didn't want to consistently like lint roll it all the time. Like I'm lint rolling myself enough with my fur fetty that I like to call it. I didn't want to lint roll the bag. So ultimately I did return it, but it was not for sake of the bad, like the bad bag was not bad. It was just the fact that it just didn't work for my particular lifestyle. So yeah, I always try to like really like be genuine about what I'm doing in the bags that I have and try not to deter people from buying them if they want the bag. Like I always say, if you want it, get it. This is just my experience with it.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a big question, Erica.
Yes.
Everybody wants to know, how do you do it? How do you get these beautiful leather bags all the time? And tell us, do you ever get free bags?
So I do get free bags sometimes. I wouldn't say all the time. The one I'm carrying today, my Amy Kestenberg, I did actually get for free. It was so cool. It's my recent free bag that I did receive. I had made a video about my Amy Kestenberg experience.
I could link that down below if you'd like.
Please.
That.
I think it was called the Fair. It was the Fair Game Tote. I loved it. I thought it was so pretty, but the problem became that there was a hole in the lining. And I will say with Amy Kestenberg bags, I'm not a massive fan of her lining. I still don't love it. I think it feels, for lack of a better term, a little cheap. And I think like maybe that was why, I mean, it was right in the hem. So I ended up creating a video stating that I was ultimately going to return it. I gave my pros, and then like the biggest con, which is ultimately why I returned it, was the hole in the lining. But again, like I don't want to deter you. That could just be a fluke in the bag. And so far, like with the two that I have now with the same linings, I think it maybe was a fluke. While I'm not a massive fan of the linings that they have not ripped or caused me any problems. So with Amy Kestenberg, she reached out to me on Instagram to kind of make up for the fact that I did not have the greatest experience, which I thought was the coolest thing. I was very flattered. They're a huge brand. So I just like, my heart stopped when I read the message. My heart stops when any brand reaches out to me. Like, I think it's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
But like my experience, like with other brands, like Urban Southern, for example, I got introduced to Urban Southern with their Legacy backpack tote. I still have it. I love it. It's primarily my work bag. And I had reached out to Urban Southern right around the time I saw that bag. And I said that I was a very small influencer. I had only a couple hundred subscribers at the time. And I said, if you ever want anybody to review. I sent them some of my sample videos. If you ever want somebody to review your bags, like I would love it if you considered me. And they were so kind about it. They were like, we're not looking for it now, but maybe down the road, like we'll definitely keep you in mind. And sure enough, down the road, they kept me in mind and they sent me some of their bags, and it's just been incredible. Like it's been fantastic. I was Low and Sons was the same way. I actually approached them asking like, if you ever like want somebody to, you know, review some of your bags, please let me know. And they let me choose their bags. So I would say a lot of the reasons I've gotten free bags is I've actually just reached out to the brands myself, which I guess if you're trying to get free things, I would say you don't get what you don't ask for. So my big tactic is I'll reach out to some of the brands I'm interested in, send some sample videos and say, if you're willing to work with me, I'd love to work with you. But I also do like to buy things from brands too. I never want it to be like, oh, well, I got it only for free. I like to support the brand too. Like it's just my big thing. Like Urban Southern has given me free things, which has been phenomenal. But I also like to give to Urban Southern and give them my business and give them my money and things like that. And that goes for all the brands I've worked with.
Wow, that's incredible. Do you ever have a brand mail you a bag and then ask you to send it back to them?
Not yet. That has not happened yet. I've been fortunate enough to keep all the bags that I reviewed, although I would be interested in just reviewing and sending it back too, because again, like with the bags that are not represented online where we get to see really in depth, I think something like that would be very helpful. Plus, in reality, I can't keep all the bags that I want. I don't have the space for it. I would have to rent a storage unit.
Exactly. And may I ask, how do you fund the bags that you purchase? Do you sell bags that you have in order to welcome new ones in?
So that's a really good question. So I will start off with the fact that I think something that helps me is I do work full time. DJ works full time. So we are a dual income household and we are a childless household. And I know kids are very expensive. My friends have kids. My parents, I was one of 4. It's an expensive endeavor. So parents, I know they're spending tons of money on their kids. So right now with being dual income, no kids, we do kind of have that like leisure of being able to not purchase everything we want. We do put limits on those, but I am able to kind of spend a couple $100 on a bag here and there. Like it's not something where I'm sinking into like a diaper fund or food for kids or anything like that. So that helps me a lot. Another like big thing is I'm a huge proponent, and I've never actually talked about this on my channel. I love the Afterpay or Klarna app. Like if a brand offers Afterpay or Klarna where I can break the total into 4 versus one big total, I'll always like psychologically, it's easier for me to break it into 4. So I love that. Love that. And then I also am able to like sell some of my bags. So that helps me a lot too. So, and then now with YouTube, I am able to supplement some of my income with my YouTube, which is incredibly cool. Like I can't even believe I get to say that. So it's not a ton by any stretch of the means, but it is something. So it definitely helps me like with a second source of income for sure. So yeah, it's really cool. And so I would say like a mixture of all those things is why I'm able to afford the bags. But I also try to keep a budget for myself in terms of like what I will spend on a bag. Like I would die to have a Louis Vuitton bag, but I cannot fathom spending like $1,500 or $1,600 on a bag right now. Like it's just mind boggling to me. Like I think it's great if you can and are able to, and I think they're stunning bags, but for me, like if I'm willing to raise my price ceiling that high, like how high will I be willing to set it going forward for all these bags? And I go back and forth between so many bags, like I can't see myself spending that for myself. So I try to keep a budget of like no more than a certain amount for a bag. And that's all I will allow myself. Because if I start saying, oh, well, you can get this bag or you could get that expensive bag, then I feel like I've set a higher precedent and I'm not comfortable spending that much money on a bag. So I do try to keep the cost more minimum in terms of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's also the used market, which is a great thing. Do you like to occasionally buy used?
Yes, I actually, so that's funny. Like, so with Louis Vuitton, like I would love to again buy new. And I guess I should have like made that more clear. I have bought used or pre-loved Louis Vuittons too. So I love to thrift bags. So I'm kind of all over the place. Like I will thrift bags. I have purchased off the Real Like I love all those different types of like outlets for the pre-loved market.
And can we shop your Poshmark closet? Can you tell us where you
Of
sell
course.
online?
So there's actually a few ways you can like shop my styles. So first and foremost, I do have a Poshmark. So it's at Girl in Pursuit, which if I can link it down below in my like video as well.
Great.
So it's Girl in Pursuit. And then my girlfriend and I, Daria, have started a little pop-up shop called Between Friends Resale. And we are located in a town near me in Northwest Indiana at Ava Michael Salon and Boutique. So you can shop in person at Ava Michael. You can shop on Ava Michael's Instagram, and then you can shop at our Instagram at Between Friends Resale. So I'll give you all that information, Lisa. And yes, that's like where you can shop a lot of our clothing. We have our own personal clothing. It's stuff that we've like thrifted. It's bags. It's all sorts of stuff. So if you're interested, that is another place to shop for us.
I've taken a peek at it and I thought that was so cool. What a fun project to do with your best friend.
Yeah. We love it.
Great way. And I don't know about you, but I love when I do buy something secondhand. I love when I know the person, or like if I get something from a friend, it just makes it all the more personal. So
and it is so much fun. Like Daria and I just love to thrift. And it's like inevitably like there's not enough room for everything. And it's giving people the opportunity to shop some of those finds. And again, shop our closet. Like Daria is definitely a proponent of like taking stuff out of her closet and just putting it into the shop, or I will do the same thing. And it really is fun. And we love kind of putting the pieces together. Cause I think a lot of times people get like sort of like lost in how do I pair or how do I style these pieces? And that is something we love to do. So we have just had so much fun doing that. And Brittany, the salon owner, is just phenomenal to be able to work with. And she just helps us so much with like just setting up and things like that. So she's just, the whole project's just fun. We have a good time doing it.
It looks so much fun. And when did that start? When did that project start for you?
We actually started at the very tail end of January, like I would say the last week of January. And we set up like right before an impending snowstorm. Like it was really funny. I remember it distinctly. So we kind of got the idea. Daria does marketing for Ava Michael. And so she was able to talk to Brittany, and Brittany was like, absolutely. So Brittany really worked with us and we set it up, and the rest is history. We've been out for a few months, and it's fun. We have a good time.
Wow. That is so very cool.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Now I have another question for you. What advice do you have for anyone that wants to follow in your footsteps, like this one right here? Or somebody who hasn't started yet on YouTube, can you give us your best advice for that?
I would say always be your most genuine self, for sure. And Lisa, you're so sweet. I've watched your YouTube videos. I love it. You're one of the YouTubes I started with Madewell and also with Urban Southern, because I watched your Brittany circle bag video.
Yes.
Southern. Yes. Yep. So, and I've watched all of your Urban Southern Market totes, because that's like one of the bags I'm very much considering purchasing next.
Oh,
so
fun.
Just like the genuineness, I really do think like kind of carries through, but also in terms of like, I feel like the real success of my channel, and it is very hard, is to maintain consistency. And it is so difficult. I completely get it. Like I put out 2 videos a week each week. And even like last week, I ended up having to take my Thursday video off because I had such bad back pain that I was like, I can't do it. So I guess I give it that caveat. Like if you feel like you mentally need a break, take one. I really do think like if you are feeling burned out, not creative, I think that shows. So give yourself that break and just kind of come back when you're feeling your best self. But consistency has really been my key, I think, to success, is to always try and show up with at least 1 video a week. And during my wedding planning, when I was super close to my wedding, I actually went from 2 to 1, which just was easier on my schedule. So I would also like to say, try to be organized, but I'm still working on that myself. Like I am desperately trying to organize my personal life. I'm very good with my work life, but and it's also trying to transition this as like hobby turned like a job. And it is a difficult transition for me.
I love it. So consistency is real big.
Yeah,
Being
it's my
honest,
biggest, it would
being
be my
real.
biggest, like it is consistency. Like
Mhm.
try to have like one day a week where you are going to upload and try to upload at the same time so people can kind of learn your schedule. Like my previous channel was kind of all over the place when I was uploading, and I wasn't, very like distinct and clear of like when those were coming out. So I think I started with like Thursdays at 12:30. I have changed it to Tuesdays and Thursdays, but at 3:30, and I've done that for a long time. But yeah, the consistency has been my key factor, I think.
I bet there's a merging of your consistency and your authenticity. Where they hit is probably when you are doing those unboxings and you're just wearing whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're being authentic, and then you're staying consistent because you don't have to do all the things to get ready every single time when you do a video.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So there is definitely a key to that. And I try to be absolutely, I'm 100% myself in my videos. Like what you see in my videos is truly who I am in real life. Like it's just, I try to be very, very 100% me. So, and what I would say to my best friend sitting down and chatting about a bag, I talk to my subscribers the same way.
Mm-hmm. I love that. We know that.
Thank you.
Why we love
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So if people wanted to find your content online, they should go to youtube.com/Girl in Pursuit. I'm going to get it. It's GirlInPursuit.
Yes, that's it.
And then on Instagram, it's girl_in_pursuit. And then on TikTok, you have one of those too.
I do.
It's Girl in Pursuit, just all those words together.
Yes.
And then your Poshmark, you said, is also Girl in Pursuit.
Yes. And that's like all in one. And like with TikTok's like it's very new for me. I love watching it. I'm like shamelessly obsessed with TikTok, but I'm not nearly as consistent with TikTok as I set out to be. So that's definitely a work in progress for me, but I love the platform. I think it's so fun. So it's definitely something I hope to really integrate into my schedule.
It's just one of the many ways that you're growing. You're growing. In
yes. I am trying. I am very much trying. So I really, stick with me on TikTok. I will get better with it. It's also like, for me, it's like a whole new way of editing and things like that. So it's learning new things. Sure. And as I mentioned prior, I am not despite my having a YouTube and all these things, I am not technologically savvy. So it's like what would take like a normal human being very like nothing to learn. It takes me forever to learn technology. Like my boss laughs at me, everybody, my husband, my friend, they're all like, you're so bad with it. I'm like, yes, I know. It just doesn't come naturally for me.
You encourage me in that way too, Erica. Like, because I too struggle sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, and editing takes forever sometimes. And it's
I get it.
Just better to like not edit it at all and just throw it up there.
Just keep working on it. I would just like play with it. Like that's what I can advise with technology. Just play with it. You'll get it eventually. Like I just got a new iPad and I'm like learning all the things on iPad, and it took me like 2 hours to learn just this very simple task the other day. But by the time, it's such a gratifying feeling when I learn it. So that's like I try to hold on to that. It's like you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You got this. So just keep chugging.
All right. So Erica, are you ready for the leather confession? This is a little segment that I enjoy doing on the podcast. And I wondered if you could confess to our listeners something funny or surprising about you that relates to your love of leather bags. And if you're willing to admit it, we're willing to listen.
I think it's like more funny. Like, I think I have like, I guess I would call it my leather superpower, especially this is more in regards to like thrifting. So I've been thrifting for a really, really long time. I like to say I was thrifting well before it was cool. And one of the very first things I would go to look at in thrift stores is the bags. Naturally, like I gravitate towards them, and even the shoes sometimes as well. And I feel like I can spot a genuine leather bag like a mile. I have bad eyesight too, but I can spot leather like a mile away. Like I zone in on it. Like I know
you're not using your nose. You're just using your eyes.
No, sometimes, but thrift stores, things can kind of smell a little funky, but I really like touch, look, everything. Like I can just tell almost always like nine times out of 10, I can tell you if it's a real leather bag. Like I can just sense the quality and things like that. So yes, that's my leather confession. I feel like I have a leather superpower in terms of thrifting. Like
no wonder.
I can spot it. I can spot it.
You have this magnetism that just draws the bag.
So I'm going to turn it on you really fast because it's your podcast, but I have to. What is your leather superpower?
Ooh, my leather superpower.
Yeah. What is yours?
Gosh, I think of my leather stuff as like a weakness because I'm always wanting to like buy more. So I got to turn that around to think of it as a superpower.
Yes. I say it's so funny. My one boss, like we're very close. And he always was like, you have a problem, like with Starbucks or bags. And I always say, that's the wrong P word. I do not have a problem. I have a passion. And like try to change it on that. Like, it's not a problem. It's a passion.
A passion. I love it. I need to look, change it around that way. Maybe I would say in terms of identifying high quality, I use my ears a lot.
Really?
Yeah. So whereas you're using your eyes,
yeah,
your nose, I think I use my ears a lot when trying to. Maybe that's my superpower. I don't know.
Explain. I want more details. Like, explain this to me, please. I'm like genuinely curious about this.
Okay. Well, first of all, I get a lot of enjoyment from my carrying leather bags for the hearing part of it. Okay. So like, for example, now, first of all, hardware makes sound, but I'll talk about the leather in just a moment. So like these Rebecca Minkoff bags, the huge reason why I love them, huge reason, is whatever pitch the chain makes. Whatever that pitch is, that sound. I love it. So the sound of a bag is a big determining factor for me, whether or not I like it.
Okay.
And the hardware can cause that, but then also the leather does as well. And so if it's like a vegetable tanned hide, it's going to squeak. The bag will squeak at you when you're moving it around. It talks to you.
Yeah. And then I never really noticed that.
You got to listen to your bags. They're talking to you, Erica. They're talking to you. And
I'm like that's so cool.
And then if it's like more of an oil tanned leather, it's going to be silent. Those bags are quiet. And then I don't know, and I tap on bags too when I'm trying to assess their authenticity, because the more millimeters and the full grain as opposed to the top grain, there's a different pitch when you knock on that bag.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then also I want to say too, temperature is a thing I look at as well when I'm like evaluating a bag.
Okay.
I find that, I mean, of course, leather changes temperature wherever you're at. Like if you go out, it's going to be cold if you're out on a cold day, but generally higher quality tends to be warmer.
Okay.
So like a more inexpensive bag is going to be cooler to the touch. So
I'm really going to go feel and hear all of my bags. Like I'm going to go through all of them. I'm so genuinely intrigued. I literally am going to go through my whole closet and start like tapping and feeling and listening. I think that's so cool.
I think so. When you go thrifting next time, your eyes will take you right to, you'll be able to pinpoint where that bag is. And then when you get closer to it and you start moving it around, listen to how it talks to you, what temperature it is, and then tap on it, see if it, if it's silent. It just gives you some insight into how the bag was made, how it was tanned, and how high quality it is.
Oh, Lisa, that's so cool. That's such a cool bag superpower. Oh my goodness, that's so neat. That is the coolest thing.
And I have learned it from others, you know what I mean? Like it's thanks to other people who have been like, oh, I do this, I do that. I'm like, oh, like it's this community that we're in of people that love.
Phenomenal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. It's such a cool community for sure. There's so many fun, like just such knowledgeable people out there with leather. So cool. I think that's fantastic.
Are you ready for this week's homework assignment, Erica?
Yes.
For our listeners?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you have a specific homework assignment you want to give our listeners, you can. Otherwise, I have a homework assignment planned. Okay. Would you like to go with what I have, or do you have an assignment plan?
No, please go. Let's go with what you have.
Okay. So I thought it would be fun for our listeners and our viewers to get to interact with you a little bit. I think your homework assignment, everybody, this week should be that you upload an image of your current carry, your favorite bag right now, and tag Erica.
Yes, please.
with the hashtag girl in pursuit. That way you'll be able to see what people are carrying and comment, because I know you love to interact with your followers.
I do. And I try to do that a lot on my Instagram stories, which is to like show the bag I'm carrying and then let me know what bag you're carrying. Please tag me in your stories. I think that's such a cool way to discover new bags. Like it's just, I've learned so much from just my subscribers with what they love. And it's opened so many doors for me that I think that's how we learn about new things, is from each other. So yes, I love that homework assignment. Please tag me.
Do you know what? I always know too, if somebody has watched one of your videos. It's so funny because I belong to a couple leather bag groups on Facebook, and I can almost tell when somebody posts something. I'm like, oh, they must have just watched Erica's video, because it'll be like a brand or something that they're just like mentioning, and you just mentioned it on your channel. So it's just funny how
I love that.
In our circle.
I think that's so cool. I feel like I can tell, especially with like Portland leather goods bags, or any kind of like, I guess any bag, when they have that like sunflower keychain that I put on my Portland leather goods mini crossbody. Yeah. I feel like I had not seen that at all. And I happened to just go on Etsy and I don't know, stumbled down a black hole of purse charms, and I found that one and I put it on my Portland leather goods bag, and I had ended up linking it in that video. And I feel like ever since then I've so many bags with that accessory in it, which is so cool. I mean, who knows, maybe they discovered it on their own, but I'd like to think maybe I influenced a little bit, like a few people.
I'm sure you did. And you know what? It's just so much fun following trends. Like I've always been a sucker for trends. It's a sport. It's fun. You know, somebody does something and you like it, and so you do it. It's just, it's fun.
Well, the newest like for spring is like the crocheted bags, which is ironic because they're not leather. But
I just talked about that on the podcast. Yeah.
Oh, funny. Well, so I told you I was returning a bag, and one of the bags I'm returning is a Kurt Geiger crocheted bag. So definitely go check out that video. It is coming out this Thursday. I love the bag. I want to just say that I love it. I'm very conflicted, but I think ultimately I have to return it due to its carry. But I've already found a few crocheted bags I like a lot. So it's that spring trend that I like, everybody is following, that I must also follow, because it's just so fun. It's so fun. They're awesome.
It's like we haven't grown up. We're still
no, we're very much like,
I don't want to grow up.
No, it's so much more fun like how we are. I love it. Yes, I'm with you.
Oh, well, Erica, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for doing this interview today and just answering my questions. And anytime that you want to be back on the podcast or this video channel, like, you are always invited.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. I had a blast. Thank you so much. I loved like learning. I learned something new about leather today with like temp and all, like the sound. The sound is what really gets me. I think that's so cool. I'm going to go listen to my bags. But yes, I would love to come back on any time that you would like to interview me. I had such a good time. Thank you so much for having me. I feel very honored. Thank you.
Don't forget, everybody, to go check out Erica's content and the video of this interview at youtube.com/girlinpursuit. And again, on Instagram, girl_in_pursuit, TikTok, Girl in Pursuit, and Poshmark, Girl in Pursuit. Yes. So we'll see you on Wednesday for our next episode. And in the meantime, spread the word and please share on social media. And until then, keep loving that leather bag. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye.
Oh, Erica, that was so much fun.
Thank you. I had such a blast. No, thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. I really do. So it's such an honor to be asked.
I could see myself talking to you for long periods of time because you're so much fun. You're so interesting.
Thank you. Ditto. Thank you. I loved it. I learned something new. I had so much fun. So yeah, if anytime you're looking to like, fill the spot, let me know. I will I'd love to come on and just, chat.
Thank you, Erica. I consider you my friend.
Ditto. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thanks, Lisa. Have a good one.
Bye.
See you. Bye.